Trenchcasts here, bringing you another fantastic cast. This is a game, Team Empire versus Asus Polar out of the ESL1 Frankfurt qualifiers. I actually watched this game for the first time with my dad. I was planning on casting it, but he came down and kept asking me all kinds of questions, so I didn't end up getting to cast that one, and it was actually pretty interesting watching the game with my dad because he was trying to figure out what was going on the entire time, and he just didn't get it. It was difficult for him. He kept saying that, what's this, and how do you know any of this? And it was pretty interesting, but let's get here into the draft. So first bans out from Empire are Troll and Sniper, and then we have Asus banning Axe and Shadow Fiend. So obviously the Troll, a huge hero for all teams. It's usually first pick, first ban. I believe it's Illidan that plays it over on Asus, and Illidan, one of the stronger carries in the CIS region, if you ask my opinion. They're a very good team. They know how to work with the Troll very well. But they banned that Yoki Axe. Yoki was one of the players that made the Axe really popular, so it makes sense why they would ban that for him. And Resolution Shadow Fiend is also quite strong, so that's an easy ban out. And then the Sniper as well, just one of those big meta carries right now that makes huge impacts on the game, almost impossible if you want to run a melee core. I mean, even if you want to run ranged cores, it's still going to be really difficult for you because you just can't get close enough to the Sniper. But the first pick for Asus is the Io. Io, not a hero that we've seen that's been massive lately, but he's still in that tier 2, tier 3 scene of the competitive heroes where a lot of the big teams can play him. If you have an Io player, you're in really good shape and you can set up good combos. Io Tiny is still something that teams like to pull out from a time or two. Asus is a big fan of it, and they pull out their Io Slark here. Illidan Slark, I believe I looked at the other day, they have like a 68% win rate with the hero, when the hero's win rate overall is like under 40% at one point. It was at 39% around DAC time. I'm sure it's raised a little bit now, but there were a lot of people picking Slark, and none of them were being that successful with it. But Illidan has been able to consistently win with his Slark. It's kind of just one of Polar's go-to strategies. So we've got the Phoenix and the Trent Protector picked up for Empire. The Phoenix is a really good offlaner. We'll probably see it as Yoki's hero. And Trent Protector, just a really good defensive support. If you're trying to do early aggression onto towers or need to just help your team out with the global heals, he's really good. Void and Storm Spirit ban now for Asus with the Mag ban on Team Empire. Storm, a good mid, good tempo controller. Also pretty good mid to late game. He's just a solid hero. The Void, because Slark isn't one of like the super hardest carries, most of the meta carries like Troll and Jug and Sniper can outcarry the Troll, or can outcarry the Void rather. But the Slark, even though he can usually outcarry the Void if he snowballs, it's one of those heroes that he can prevent him from snowballing a little bit, and then your Slark getting Chronosphered is almost always going to be a kill in the mid to late game. So because of that, they'll ban him out. And the Spirit Breaker, a really good gap closer that Asus could have went for against like the Phoenix, and maybe they're wanting to pick some more of like a spread out split pushing strategy. Spirit Breaker would counter that, so they're going to get rid of it on the side of Asus. So we'll see what Team Empire looks to pick up here. It'll probably be a support, although they honestly could pick up a core. You never really know about this third pick. It kind of just seems looks to be what the teams are prioritizing at the time in the draft. I would think that we're going to look to see a support here, and they already have their really defensive support, so maybe they'll pick up something like a Skywrath or a Lion to where they can try to burst down the IO really quickly. Burst down the Slark if they can get, some good lockdown on him. The Dark Pact I know can purge the silence off and the stuns off and stuff that Skywrath and Lion would throw out. But if you get like a Blink Hex onto the Slark and then blow him up with, a finger and some spirit damage or maybe a few right clicks from their carry, then it is a pretty good hero at shutting down the Slark. So Lion could be good here. Skywrath, again, silence is purgeable. with Dark Pact, but if you get it off before he pops it, like before you can pop a Dark Pact, then they can't take it out. Witch Doctor here, so another really defensive support. Kind of a lot of healing out of this team. I'm surprised they haven't banned out the AA yet, and if Asus Polar wants to pick up AA, that's really strong because it's kind of the direct counter to heals. We might see that out of Asus now, but they do pick up their mid Lina. This is a G Lina. G Lina is always a really fun to watch, really strong hero. He sometimes likes to pick up his Shadow Blade and go create space that way. Asus is a team that kind of favors a Shadow Blade more than some of the other teams that I've seen. They're really good at utilizing that in the mid game, and even when there is detection, they use it for mobility and getting away. Blink usually the better choice, but Asus kind of likes to use their snowball potential with their Lina and Slark a lot. So now they're probably going to look to pick up like a more defensive core here. It could be like a Medusa or maybe a Spectre. I think I've seen Team Empire play the Spectre a few times.
Of Pain.
Okay, they pick up a Queen of Pain here. It's probably going to be the mid hero for Resolution. And Asus is the one who picks up the Skywrath Mage. So they've got two pretty good supports here. One pretty defensive in the IO, and one very good zoning support in the Skywrath Mage. So they'll look to zone the Phoenix, and Slark will probably just be able to have his free farm or even get aggressive on that Phoenix with the Skywrath Mage. Slark is a pretty aggressive hero in the lane. Once he gets like 2 or 3, he can, he's got Pounce, he's got Dark Pact and everything. Again, no AA ban, but pretty much wouldn't see it anymore. And Asus, figuring that Team Empire is going for more of a carry, they do ban out the PA. Not a lot of options left when it comes to carries for Team Empire. We'll see what they want to go for here. I'm not really sure exactly what it might be. Could look to pick up maybe something, like I said, like a Medusa, or still Spectres in the pool, or maybe even like a Gyro or a Luna. Luna, pretty good at vision and Trent Protector, maybe good at giving the vision. They might be going for some sort of vision strat that way where Queen of Pain can find pickoffs. They still don't even have a lot of lockdown, other than, I guess, Trent Protector ult is good with Witch Doctor's ult. So never mind. They do have a pretty good amount of lockdown. I think a Luna here would be pretty good. Good for their AoE team fight that they've already got going on. They've got the Queen of Pain, they've got the Witch Doctor, Trent, Luna, Phoenix, and they do pick it up. So we do see the Luna out of Team Empire. I am, at this point, favoring Asus' draft because I don't know that Team Empire will be able to just get off their big team fight whenever they want, especially with the relocates coming out from IO, and if they initiate in on, say, the Slark and one of the other cores or something, IO can come in with a relocate and relocate him out of the fight and then come back in. Skywrath's got pretty good silences, so he can silence up the Trent Protector and burst him down before he gets anything off. And here's the support Morphling, or the offlane Morphling rather, from Asus Polar. We have been seeing a lot more of this strength-based Morphling instead of the Agi-based carry Morphling, and I think it's really cool. 4-second stun is absolutely ridiculous. Ice Fraud, please. It does so much. He can do still a lot of damage with the waveform. The Adaptive Strike does a 4-second stun, which is perfect for, Lina setup, Skywrath Mage ult, Slark being able to get there, relocate in the same way that Axe is able to hold down a hero and then let IO and whoever his +1 is relocate in and then take that fight. Morphling is also really good at just being able to waveform in, which is basically a free blink, and then Adaptive Strike the core or the support or whoever, and then the relocate comes in and takes him out. So DK Phobos will be picking that up. It is definitely an off-lane Morphling. And we've got the Slark and everything out of Illidan, and we will announce the teams here during this pause. It is pretty... I do favor Asus' draft just a little bit. But let's introduce the teams now. We've got Empire, Silent is their carry. The offlane Phoenix played by Yoki. We've got the Resolution, Queen of Pain. We've got the Aloha Dance Trent Protector, and we've got Always Wanna Fly on the Witch Doctor. And Asus looking like they're having a little bit of trouble with their 5th player there, but we've got DK Phobos on the offlane Morphling, we've got Illidan on his Slark, we've got Lil on the support Skywrath Mage, and we have G on the Zeus, or God as some people call him. And their 5th player will be FNG, the captain, and he will be playing the Wisp. We will skip through this pause here so we don't have to watch it. And here we have a go now out of the Slark. So DK Phobos is actually headed down toward the safe lane right now. Maybe they're going to look to run an aggressive tri-lane top and catch out Empire in something that they're not expecting. It does look like they're sending the Phoenix top also, so maybe that they're looking also for an aggressive tri-lane, and they wanted to do aggressive tri-lane versus defensive tri-lane, and try to shut down Asus' tri-lanes there, shut down the Slark, let him not get any of his farm. But it also might be that they're just headed down into the jungle to have their wards up, and there's a ward that will go right down here on Aloha Dance. Dire getting up there, Rune Ward there, G and Illidan, and the rest of the team here just kind of posed to get that top bounty rune. And Asus DK is going to look over there and see that there's a bunch of heroes. A lot of pings coming out from both teams to just tell DK Phobos where the enemy is. And it looks like there will be a rune picked up on resolution, and they might give the rune to G for Phobos, or for Asus. So, or no. G went to go back and get the block, and they're going to give it to FNG so he can pick up his fast bottle. I really do like this on certain heroes. It doesn't work for every support hero, but giving supports their fast, certain item, whether it be fast boots for an Earthshaker or Skywrath Mage, or like the fast bottle that they're giving to the FNG Wisp there, it's really good to be able to just like give it to him quick. And a little bit of a scuffle down there. Nothing actually happened, but Aloha Dance was posed to pick off the courier. He likes to try to do this sometimes if he knows like the Wisp wanted a fast bottle, so he's gonna sit there and try to pick it out. But the courier will be microed out, and will get out safely, so he does not get anything for his troubles there. And we look up top lane. There's a little bit of harass going out onto Always Wanna Fly. The pounce comes out. The tether is there, but a really good cast. The birds and the right clicks will take him down. They might get Yoki as well. They weren't really expecting this aggressive tri-lane out, and they just get stomped, and the first 2 kills go in the way of Asus. So not only the first blood, but the second blood, and they're gonna be able to, tango and bottle Illidan back up, and he's gonna be at full life again. Down bottom, we shouldn't really see this DK Phobos die. The strength morph is really good. The waveform, pretty dang good escape. So but he will take a decent amount of harass. The Luna Luescent Beam does 75 damage at level 1, so not crazy, but it gives a little bit of a stun. The Leech Seed's pretty good. Taking a lot of harass back and forth here between DK Phobos and Aloha Dance. Back up top lane, we will definitely see Slark getting some of his farm. He's already second on last hits, and they have just a really good zoning support in the in Lil's Skywrath Mage, and he'll just be able to, allow, maybe even kill the Witch Doctor and kill Yoki like we've already seen, or just allow them to get their, allow Illidan to get his farm, and he's gonna pounce out. Might have tried to go on him there. Wisp does bottle up the bounty rune. Lena does not have her bottle yet. She has a Null Talisman and 1 shared Tango. This lane is kind of a wash in terms of who's going to actually win it, because Resolution on his Queen of Pain and Lena on G, they both have kind of the same thing. They're both kind of lane dominators, good lane harassers. Oh, but Aloha Dance is going to rotate in. The aggressive Scream comes out and the Shadow Strike, but the LSA does a lot of damage there, and you can almost kill them off with the Dragon Slave. Does miss the very tip end of it, but up top lane we see Always Wanna Fly taking a little bit more harass. Lil with those Arcane Bolts can deal a lot of damage there. Aloha Dance coming back up top. These rotations are kind of all over the place for Empire, but they might kill Lil here. The Wisp comes in and bottles up Lil, And they might even try to turn here. Always want to fly Maiko down to the Slark, but they do lose the Phoenix to the Skywrath Mage and the Wisp Balls. And the silence comes out onto Aloha Dance, but he is going to be able to invis and get away. So another 2 kills coming out here onto Asus Polar, one of them being picked up by the Slark, and one of them being picked up by the Skywrath Mage. They each have 2 apiece. Luna is winning in last hits, but Illidan is getting a lot of farm. He's finding everything he wants up at that top lane and more. DK Phobos doesn't really need much on his offlane Morphling. I mean, Morphling really loves to be able to pick up his Blink Dagger, but all he actually needs is to just get those Tranquil Boots, and he can start, you know, running around getting 4-second stuns. So offlane Morphling does not need any items at all to just be pretty effective and still not be able to die. So the early 4 minutes here going kind of, I would say, in the way of Asus. Obviously they have the 4 kills, but they're still getting most of what they need on Empire. The Queen of Pain does pick up her Illusion Rune, the Io gets a Bounty Rune. Smoke here out of Empire. We'll see what they try to do with this. Aloha Dance looking to get aggressive onto G. The smoke breaks, but they take a lot of damage. The Leech Seed comes out, the Scream, the Cask, the Fire Spirits, and that's an easy kill, but they needed a 4-person smoke and a 4-person rotation for this. So even though G goes down, it's a lot of space created on both lanes. It's time that DK Phobos can maybe get himself a few last hits. He only has picked up 3, so he is still getting zoned out pretty hard by the Luna. But it's not like they're really going to be able to take this tower here, and even if they try, Skywrath Mage is going to be there to attempt to throw him off and attempt to help G fight if he needs to. The Dragon Slave does come out, just a little bit of harass there, and the right clicks on for the illusions, but nothing too crazy or insane there. Skywrath Mage rotating around the map, helping to zone out other heroes. Top lane has already kind of been won. It is 4-1 kills, but bottom lane, they are going on to DK Phobos. He waveforms out and he's strength morphing, but the Icarus dive and the right clicks are just a little bit too much. They might try to get a return kill here onto Yoki, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Just a solo Skywrath Mage. He could probably do it if he traded a lot of harass, but I don't think it's really worth it here. This Observer Ward I pointed out earlier has been a lot of value for Empire because they've been able to see all of the movements of Phobos, and they've been able to see the movements of the potentially rotating supports, and so it is pretty dang strong to be able to have that ward there. I think that ward even blocks the camp, and yeah, it does. So the camp getting blocked and prevents DK Phobos from being able to pull back and, you know, get some extra levels up on his Morphling, but still, he's level 4, he's almost got his Tranquil Boots, he's kind of got everything they need. They are going out onto Lil here. The Icarus dive, the blink in from the Queen of Pain, he's going to attempt to TP out, but the Luescent Beam will stop it, and that's a dead Skywrath Mage. So Empire evening the kills here, but Slark still off to a really good start, almost has his Hand of Midas, has his Orb of Venom, treads, shield up. So even though they are getting a little bit of return kills here, I think it still is pretty decently in favor of Asus Polar. Empire could easily snowball in with the mid-game team fights, but if Slark gets his Blink Dagger and starts creating space for the rest of his team, the relocate ganks in where that DK Phobos can set up with those crazy strength stuns. But top lane, we see Queen of Pain trying to burst down FNG here, but the Dark Pact does come out. The Wisp Balls damage, he does go down, but actually, okay, Illidan will use Dark Pact, and he will be able to get out, or Shadow Dance rather. He will be able to get out, but he does not get the return kill, so that's a Wisp going down on the way of Asus Polar, and Empire picking up the Wisp, Asus getting nothing. It is a 1-for-0 trade. And mid lane, G kind of getting aggressive. She almost has her level, she does have her level 6, she's actually level 7. So we could easily see a solo kill coming out for her. But Illidan picks off Always Wanna Fly top, and that's an easy kill for him. So more gold and more money in the way from what he's looking for. Down bottom lane, they might be trying to converge onto DK Phobos here. Aloha Dance looking to get aggressive, potentially in a decent position. He does Leech Seed, so the slow goes off. More slows come out, but he will waveform away. He is strength morphing. He gets a really good stun onto Yoki. But DK Phobos still might go down here. But at the same time, they do get the kill. It does go on the way of the Phoenix. Phoenix doesn't really need much gold. He's trying to go for this value stats build, and they are just looking to trade towers here top. Illidan almost has theirs beaten down. The glyphs go out for both teams, and it just looks like they're going to trade towers here. I don't think either team is going to be able to mount a defense. And yeah, the Radiant destroys the tower, and a Witch Doctor gets the last hit on that one. So Witch Doctor gonna get a little gold for himself. He's only got 3 branches. He can finally pick up his boots. With an illusion rune here, G is looking to get some damage onto the mid tower, and Illidan just kind of running up and farming through the jungle here. He does have his Midas as well as 1200 gold already. DK Phobos has died twice now, but he's got his Tranquils now. He's almost got his level 6. He's got pretty much everything he needs to, be effective and start setting up ganks for his team. Resolution playing really good here, but it looks like they're trying to bait. Both teams are trying to bait each other, and now Aloha Dance is going to go under Nature's Guise, and he's going to go look for a kill. But just gonna scout out. Asus is gonna rotate back, and nothing is going to come of that. They are kind of drawing on the map there to tell everybody, this is just about where they are. It's kind of cool to be able to see that team communication through just pings, and I mean, obviously voice communication helps a lot, but pings and drawing on the map, I feel like you can learn a lot of kind of the general gist of what the team wants to say there. Not always, but it does help. Illidan blinks on after the corrosive shot, and the dust goes out. That isn't even really needed. They bring down the Trent Protector. The the ult from Luna comes out and does a decent amount of damage, but most of that's going to be shadow danced away. They will get the return kill here, probably on Illidan, unless he can leap out. He does not get away, but a good 4-second stun comes out onto Always Wanna Fly. Laguna Blade onto the Phoenix, and the egg comes out. They are just going to run away from it. They're not going to try to beat it down. So it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. Lil will TP out, and Yoki will get living armored up, but G might try to still kill him, throwing out the Dragon Slave, but the TP comes out onto the away from the Phoenix. So you do have your last hit leader as Slark. Let's look at current gold for both teams. Slark down a little gold from that death, picks up his Aquila, but he is still doing pretty dang good there. Courier bringing some Observer Wards out to one of the supports, probably FNG. FNG's got his Dust, got his Bottle, got his 2 Gauntlets of Strength. Doesn't really need boots that bad because he gets his movement speed boost from the Tether. So we'll look at the net worths here, and there is... Your Lina is actually pretty far behind the Queen of Pain. The Queen of Pain has a decent number of kills. She has 3-0. She's 3-0. So she's got a pretty good start there. But I don't know if that's a good trade-off for the really good start on the Slark. The Luna's not doing too bad herself, and really you could think that it's just the one core here that's getting really farmed in the Illidan Slark. But Illidan with a FNG support there from the Wisp is going to be able to do a lot. They are kind of rotating lanes, slipping tri-lane back to their own safe lanes to be able to get some decent farm. Skywrath Mage farming up. He does have his level 6. He can start dropping his Mystic Flares. He's almost level 7, in fact. And he's just got an old Talisman and some boots. It'll be interesting to see what Illidan goes here for items. I will assume he's going to pick up the Shadow Blade because that's very Illidan-esque. Sometimes he likes to get the Blink Dagger instead, but he wants to be able to create that space for the rest of his team so they can get up their levels and items as well. And they're going to look to push this bottom tower here. They probably won't get it. I think Empire will be able to rotate in and scare him off. But we'll see how it goes. The Queen of Pain is going to TP in here. Illidan just trying to clear up the creep wave. Now he's going to leap out, and he's just going to get away. Wisp is there, and the replicant is up for, or no, that was the illusion rune, I'm sorry. So replicant was not sent up there. DK Phobos is just farming top. He has his level 8, he's got his soul ring, he's gonna try to get his blink dagger now, but he doesn't even need it that badly. Slark rotating again. Really good rotations here out of Slark here. He's just able to rotate, find farm, shows us that Illidan is one of those solid carries that just always knows where to get it. They're going to try to sneak a Roche here out of Empire, and they probably will get it. I don't think Asus is really going to be able to contest here unless they brought everybody, and I don't know that they even know that it's happening. I did see some pings come out, but they might have been pings from Empire. They now will scout it with the Wisp Illusion. He'll know it's there, but it's going to go down. It's already dead here. A lot of heals being able to come out. And Luna is going to be able to pick up that Aegis, so she doesn't even have that many items. She's got her Helm of the Dominator and Aquila and Treads, though, so her first early stat items. She'll probably look for a BKB next. But down bottom, the relocate's coming in onto Yoki. Yoki does egg up, but they're going to easily be able to bring this down. Resolution throwing out the Scream of Pain, but the Shadow Dance is going to be able to keep Illidan alive. And then the Mystic Flare and the right clicks are going to bring down the Queen of Pain. So then they go back top, and they're already pushing a tier 2. This is a pretty good early game lead in terms of Asus Polar. I keep saying that because it is very true. Even though Empire is still being able to farm up on a lot of their supports, or a lot of their cores and stuff, got a good net worth out of the Queen of Pain, but she did go down. She's almost to her Orchid, but she's still a couple thousand gold off. No good item progression coming out of Witch Doctor. Sometimes if Witch Doctor is able to get that early Ags, you can see a really good turn here, but all the heals coming out, and now Luna's going to start bursting everybody down with her ult. Slark might get out here, but he's still taking a lot of burn damage, and he will start Shadow Dancing back up with that passive. And now he's going to look to turn on the kill and always want to fly. The dark back damage, the right clicks, the leash, and the living armor is not able to keep him alive, but Illidan might lose from this, but he just knows this hero so well. He knows the, jump lengths, and he's always able to get out. Mid lane, they're pushing. They do want to make a go onto DK Phobos here, but he is really tanky. He's already got his 1,000 HP, not even fully strength morphed there. He can get his 4-second stun. He's got his waveforms to be able to get out. So, looking pretty good in the first 15 minutes here. Empire could bring it back and could win late game, but with the Slark being able to snowball like this, so he didn't get the Shadow Blade, he did get that value Yasha first. He does already have another 2,300 gold. We might see him pick up a Shadow Blade from there, but probably is just going to go for something more like a Sange and Yasha now, and not really wanting to, already snowballing so hard that he doesn't need that snowball item. He's just going to start building his damage from here. So mid lane, there's kind of a standoff. It looks like one of the teams wants to engage, but gonna check the Roche pit there, but they already have Aegis, so they should know that that's not up. Silent, AFK in his jungle. There he goes off to farm some more, but I think he's pretty afraid there of where the enemy team might be rotating in, so he doesn't want to be too far away. He's also waiting for camps to spawn, I suppose. But down by the bottom rune, the Eul Scepter comes off, the Mystic Flare and Laguna Blade will go down. They'll even commit the Lina ult to that, so the Laguna Blade going out as well. But here comes a good rotation in from Phobos. A good ult comes out onto the tree ult comes out and roots everybody in place, so they're not going to get that fight that they thought that they were going to, but now they will get out there with the... Probably could have left Illidan behind and let him get that kill, but they will relocate out. G gets a nice haste rune for himself. He's already got his Euls. He's on his way to 1,000 gold. Probably going to look to pick up his Ags here, maybe a BKB if he thinks that's necessary. But back top lane, they're going to be doing some damage to this tower. Silent has Aegis, Yoki's here. There's 3 heroes here on the side from Empire. Not really a fight that Illidan wants to take, but they are very mobile. Slark, a fast hero. He's got the Sange and Yasha, he's got the leap. He's already got 1,200 gold again here, so Midas doing work for him as well as just very efficient farming. He is 3,000 gold ahead of the Queen of Pain, which is the most farmed hero on Empire. And Queen of Pain doesn't do quite as much with farm as Slark does. They're both really strong mid-game heroes, but Queen of Pain needs a little bit more items to be super strong. She wants her Ags, and her Orchid to be about as effective as Slark would be with just kind of a Sange and Yasha. So a lot of damage potential from both heroes, but they are going to try to rotate in here onto Illidan. because they don't like how aggressive he's being able to farm, but he's just gonna back his way off now, and a lot of space created. DK Phobos down here now being able to take the bottom tower. We do see a little bit of scuffle here. Luescent Beam going out onto Lil. Yoki comes in with the Icarus dive and the sprites, and they will be able to bring him down. I think he's going to try to deny himself to Roshan, but Rosh is not there. Now he gets a pretty good Mystic Flare, and he does, the Adaptive Strike does throw Silent up onto the cliff, so they maybe even would have been able to engage on that, but now he's up on the cliff, and that's kind of crappy in the way of asus, but it also prevents, you know, Silent has to wait now for a TP. He's got one on the way, but threw him off for a moment there. And Illidan all the while is just being able to farm top, and he did get struck by the Shadow Poison, but just keeping up his farm, keeping this lane pushed in, keeping very good map control, not allowing Empire to really farm either of the jungles, at least not without being very scared. They kind of have access to a few of the camps in their own jungle, but really they don't have a lot of access there. Yasha up onto Silent on his Luna, doing pretty good, but not quite as much as he needs, only at 7k net worth at 19 minutes, so even though he's farming pretty efficiently, we might see a fight here. Illidan does pounce onto Resolution, the Shadow Poison goes out, the Cask and the Blink away, so Illidan just saying, hey, I could kill you if I needed to, but didn't have any help there, so it wasn't going to happen. Now both teams kind of rotating in. Witch Doctor's ult is up, the Cask is up as well, so this might be a little bit of an awkward fight. The 4-second stun comes out, the Mystic Flare, and the bolt's not even needed. He's just going to get the kill right away, and now Illidan up goes, is really looking for Always Wanna Fly here, wants to pounce on the Witch Doctor, wants to get another easy kill. He is going to get the pounce off, but not be able to get the tether. And he's diving all the way in base here. Shadow Dance goes out. The Living Armor probably going to keep him alive. Illidan might be overextending a little bit here. But at the same time, he does have the Wisp that he could TP out. They do bring down the Phoenix in the back lines. And the Luna ult comes out. But this is going to almost be a team wipe here. And Silent, or Resolution, looking for the Slark there. And he will get the Scream of Pain. So it ends up being a... So the fight recap, not a lot of help there, just recaps the last one. But it is going to end up being a 4-for-2 in the way of asus. So they're going to be happy to take that fight all day long. They get a lot out of it. They get some items, they get some gold, and they get a lot of pressure on this tier 2 still. But tier 2 at the same time not being able to go down. Towers are really hard to take with Trent Protector on the other team. We do see DK Phobos with his Yules now. We've got 2 Yules set up for the Lina stun. We've got Yules set up for the Adaptive Strike, and Waveform being able to help farm up, as Lina's clone is pretty dang good at pushing by herself. There is a DD rune here bottom. One of the teams able to pick that up. Do have Slark almost back up, and they'll probably look to get aggressive on the back of that. Hold on here, let me get some water. So I think a lot of what... Oh, G does take out the Witch Doctor here in the mid lane. Probably she did commit the Laguna Blade for that, so an easy just LSA and Dragon Slave dual setup combo. She does have her Shadow Blade. The 4-second stun goes out. The Waveform and LSA to follow, and wow. So much burst damage here on the way of Asus Polar, and some decent sustainable damage if DK Phobos wants to Agility Morph. The right clicks come out from the Lina end up being pretty good because she gets so much attack speed. Illidan has a lot of right clicks for himself. Just in general, they have a lot of damage here. The Living Armor is up on the tower. They do use the Glyph. Double damage was picked up and activated on the Queen of Pain, so they might look to engage off of this middle. Roshan, not up yet. Few more minutes until we know how long it will take for him to spawn. It will be a minute 13, so pretty fast Roche spawn here. They are baiting out a little bit with the replicate there, illusion, but Illidan just being able to get up his farm. In the jungle, they are smoked up on the side of Empire. The Icarus dive away from Yoki, but the Laguna Blade just wrecks him when he comes out of the invis. G will probably lose his own life for this though. Witch Doctor ult coming out. Illidan taking on the back lines, taking a lot of damage here. Wisp as well goes down, so it ends up being a 3-for-1 on the side in the way of Empire. Double kill picked up on Resolution. He is dominating. So this might be what they need to come back here. They have almost a Sange and Yasha, I would think, on to silence Luna. They're going to be able to get this tower here, probably no problem. They've got the damage aura from the stolen Alpha Wolf, and always want to fly, just picking up his wards there. Do have 2,000 gold in the way of Aloha Dance, so he could almost pick up his Agnums here. Agnums, of course, being a big item on Trent Protector. That allows him to kind of farm the map if he needs to. It also allows him to, you know, just give vision everywhere. Vision being huge, especially when they have the extra night vision from Luna, so she can see more from getting those wards. Aloha Dance going to tank up the Roche here while they try to deal some damage to it, but he is going to fall awfully low. The Leech Seed going to heal him up a little. Now the Witch Doctor heals and the Living Armor come in, so this will be another pretty easy Roche here from Empire. They're using that Dire Advantage really well, and Dire Advantage was taken out a little bit with the moving of the Roche Pit, but when you got teams that can just do it so effectively like this, they throw out everything onto the Replicate Illusion of the Skywrath Mage and do not get anything from it. So a little bit of space created there from DK Phobos, just tricking them into dewarding coming out from Lil, getting down that killing that pretty good Observer ward, that aggressive ward with his sentries, and he's got his smoke and everything still. So we'll see what they throw at us next here. A little bit of just farming, but they're going to look to take this tier 2. We'll see if Aces wants to defend. They do throw out their glyph, but they might just try to trade it for a tier 2 top. They've got the tier 1 here. Mid goes down pretty easy. They kind of want to look to trade here, but I don't know that they really have enough damage. I think Empire could still rotate it in to defend, but I think they're going to try to just force TPs instead. They throw out some more damage here. They've got Aloha Dance sitting there and Viz with his Strength Protector, so they will get 2 towers mid lane, and they will lose the 1 top, and now both teams will want to look to push high ground here. They do have the relocate on the Wisp, but they could come back to this fight and then continue to push top if they wanted to. Looks like Illidan is going to go top. There is some TP rotations back out of the way of Ace's Polar. Let's see if everyone has TPs on the side of Empire. The glyph does come out. They're almost going to get this tier 3. Adaptive Strike goes out. LSA to follow. Dragon Slave, and there's not going to be any more follow-up from that. So they will trade towers here as long as Illidan gets that tower up top. Mystic Flare goes out. The the Eclipse goes down as well. BKB popped from Luna. BKB popped from Resolution. Illidan comes back and start dishing out the damage. The Death Ward, though, comes down, as well as the Sonic Wave, but BKB pops on Illidan. He will get out. The Aegis goes down on the way of the Luna. Skywrath Mage buys back. DK Phobos has the Yules up. LSA to follow, and they will kill Resolution with just right clicks and some burst damage from their nukes. So it ends up being a buyback on the Skywrath Mage. But they do get 2 and the Aegis, so still worth there for Asus, and they're going to try to do a little bit more chasing here. They're going to go down mid lane. They might try to push the tower, but Queen of Pain is up in 50 seconds, and everybody else is already up. We'll see if they try to get this tier 1 mid. Net worth still very far in favor of... not completely. We'll see if we can check out the net worth chart here. It is 1,000 in favor of Empire this time, and I believe the experience graph should reflect about the same. No, that's actually almost 3,000 in favor of Aces. Now it's 5,000 in favor after it updates there. So Ace is still very far ahead in experience, but some of those fights with the rubber band mechanic allowing them to not keep the net worth advantage entirely. But if we look at the heroes that the net worth is on, Slark, really beefy. Lena, pretty dang beefy, and just does a little bit more with that gold than, say, the Queen of Pain and Luna, who have most of the net worth on the side of Empire. DK Phobos is also pretty farmed. The Wisp is doing alright. He's got brown boots, he's got his bottle, he's got pretty much everything he needs to just keep them alive. They are going to relocate out here. They're going to relocate top, and they're going to try to look to put some more pressure onto these racks here. one T3 tower down a piece there from each team. They're going to try to set up onto FNG when he comes back, but Slark all the while is, fighting top and getting racked. He almost gets it. The glyph does go out. The egg comes out from the Phoenix, but he is going to go down anyway, so he just feeds himself in there. The Death Ward comes out and does a lot of damage. They are able to cancel it and almost get the kill, and the 4-second stun then again comes out. The Yules goes up, but they're just going to look to retreat off of this. Oh, Illidan staying a little longer to get the creep wave. He gets the pounce off, but then he's just going to back from there. So it ends up being a 3-for-1 trade for Asus, and they do get a Rax. That is huge in the way of Asus. They don't have their tier 3 tower mid, but they now do have a Rax advantage. BKB's up on Slark. He's got 3,000 gold in the bank. He's got everything he needs. The pounce goes out onto Silent. Silent does BKB, gonna take a lot of damage there. Illidan BKBs as Luna pops her ult, and Witch Doctor gonna look to heal up and get some right clicks there. Always Wanna Fly might go down, but the leap out from the Slark. Morphling goes down off the back end of this, and they might lose Illidan as well, so maybe a little bit of an overextension there from Illidan, and he does pounce, but he gets out, or he does die. So 1-for-2 in the way of Asus. They could have just got that Rax and gotten out. They wanted the extra kills, and they ended up paying for it. So really not too terrible for them, however. They are going to be fine, I think, still. They are still decently ahead, even if the net worth doesn't show that entirely. We'll pull that back up for a second. No, now it is actually, again, a 3,000 in favor of Asus. So Asus ahead on all charts, head on all fronts, doing well for themselves here. And we will see what happens next now. I think Empire is still in a really good position for themselves, though, to come back if they need to. They have that huge team fight ult. They have huge team fight ults coming out of all of their heroes. They can easily come back in 1 or 2 fights if they can find some kills onto the Slark, find some kills on to the Lina. So we'll see what happens next here then for Empire. Right now, just looking to farm up, getting a few extra items. Slark and Wisp are going to barrel down mid. They might look to take out those towers there. G in the enemy's jungle, just farming up here. Empire likewise are in their enemy's jungle, being able to get some of their own farm. A Maelstrom picked out of DK Phobos, just wanting to be able to wave clear and help push faster, throw out some magic damage in those fights with lightning procs. I do really like this build, and now out of the support Morphling, or the offlane Morphling rather, he's been one of the kind of silent victories. He's helped set up some of these relocate ganks, he's helped set up a lot of Mystic Flares, so while he's not getting a ton of kills, he does need a little bit of recognition here. They do relocate out, but they don't relocate very far, so they'll be able to come back into this fight, just walk back, and then we'll see what happens there. Scream of Pair, the Queen of Pain ult was used. Here comes the root there in the way of Aloha Dance. The Luna ult is popped. The Eclipse doing a lot of damage, but Slark is going to be able to bring down 2, and then he's probably going to bring down the egg as well, so that's 3 kills in the way of Asus, and 4 now, as the last hero does go down. Lina bringing down Always Wanna Fly's Witch Doctor. The fight recap there shows about a 900 gold swing in the way of Asus, and they do get the other racks, but there is still tier 2s. So they do have to push a long way to be able to get another set of racks here and look to end the game. It'll probably go for another 10 minutes or so unless Empire does anything real drastic. Queen of Pain just getting her farm up, trying to find the item she needs to maybe get back in the game. She's got her Scythe of Ice though, she's got her BKB. She's kind of in her element of the game here. She has her Orchid already, She can blink in, she can scythe, she can orchid, she has a lot of shutdown potential, she has a lot of burst damage. Maybe Ags would be a good next item for her, just and look to get a lot of a lot more damage, more pure damage that goes through the BKB of Slark, but even then, I don't know how much they're really going to be able to do. She could also still look to pick up a Veil, amplifies the Luna damage, amplifies the damage from the egg, and not from the Witch Doctor ult, but also her Scream of Pain and Shadow Poison. She is going to farm up some of the camps here in the jungle. They do get the stun off on her though, then the Mystic Flare goes down and Resolution will die, so pretty easy pick off there. Queen of Pain in a little bit too aggressive of a position. When you're in Empire's shoes, you can't really afford to do this. You can't afford to give these pickoffs like this. You're already behind, 31-19 on kills. The relocate comes in, and Always Wanna Fly is going to go down. They are going to look to get a few more kills. Silent now does pop the Manta, but the Abyssal Blade out of the Slark, the Pounce, the Dark Pact damage. A lot of right click coming out of Illidan, and he will try to bring Silent down. Silent juking around the trees though and will get away, and now now Illidan re-engages onto Yoki and onto Aloha Dance, and Silent is going to TP out, but he's going to lose everybody for it, so space created there. And usually I would say that that is completely worth it, but you still lost a lot of people there, and your Luna's not going to be able to 1v5 to defend racks or towers by herself. So we'll have to see what happens now next. What they're going to do, Illidan taking down the tower, both tier 2s pushed up to the tier 2s in the middle and bottom lanes. Now they're going to look to go try to pick off Silent again. I think they could be looking to get towers here. They try to get in the Yule's range, but they wanted the kills instead, and they're just going to zone back to Silent, and now they're going to get this tier 2 on the bottom lane. I don't think they're going to look to push high ground here. At least, wouldn't think they'd try without an Aegis, but they might. I mean, they're looking pretty ballsy here. They're pretty far ahead. Slark has his BKB, his Hand of Midas, Treads, Abyssal Blade, Saint Ignatius, 2,500 gold in the bank. He's a fat Slark. They've got buyback status on both of the Slark and the IO. Could buy back and relocate in if they need to from maybe a lost fight or a Roche fight. DK Phobos, however, gonna get taken down. He uses himself to just create a little bit more space, and then another Yules comes out from one of the enemy heroes. So he gets the waveform out now, and Slark comes in and starts cleaning up. The ult comes out on Luna, but she is gonna go down here. G and Silent Man fighting each other, and G is gonna win that fight. FNG goes down to the Wisp, and it ends up being a 3-for-4 trade, and I think the Queen of Pain is going to be able to get out here. Queen of Pain is a really good space creating core, but they just don't have anything that can compete quite up against the Slark, and I think Asus pretty much has late game because Lina doesn't really fall off too hard. Her right clicks are still really strong, having that big huge pure damage nuke now that she has her Ags, and sometimes they even go for a refresher I've seen. They're going to be able to get this bottom tower here and maybe even racks, I think. The glyph goes out, the living armor comes out, so it does heal up the tower pretty good. Resolution looking in the back, TP comes in from the Witch Doctor, but Slark's going to get out, so they do get the tower, but they do not get any of the racks yet. Have to wait on that. I don't really see exactly what Empire can do here. They've executed some of these fights even pretty well with the setups from the Luna ult, from the Trent ult. They've been able to do a lot of damage, but just not quite enough now that the BKBs are kind of up in the way of Asus. Slark has his, now Lina has hers. It is getting, though, to where she only has a 9-second one, and I think his is down to like 7 seconds. So no, it is down to a 5-second BKB. He does pick up a MKB now to kill Luna, even though because he sees that she's going for a butterfly. Pretty strong now. Asus looking to be in a good spot, looking to win this game now. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think Illidan, as long as they don't have any bad fights, will be able to lead his team into victory. Smoke does go out now, I believe from both teams, no, just from Asus, and they've got 5-man death ball in Empire mid. Looking to not die, basically. Bolt's coming out. Slark looking to get an Aegis for himself or maybe one of his other team members. Oh, but a good silence comes out and a Mystic Flare before the Trem Protector is able to get the root. The Lina sitting up there on the high ground is able to be a mobile sentry ward in ways where she just also has a Laguna Blade that she can throw out and absolutely wreck. Empire Silent does pop his ult, which almost brings down the Wisp as well as the Bouncing Glaives. Wisp will go down there to the Queen of Pain, but Silent will fall, so it ends up being a 3-for-1 trade in favor, and Illidan is godlike. Wow, here, Empire, not a lot they can do. They almost executed that fight perfectly. It would have been nice, though, if they could have got the root off. I did not see the Witch Doctor ult fall, but I know it did. So I'm not sure exactly on the positioning of that, what he could have done. But DK Phobos is going to almost get picked off here. He's going to use himself up. He's going to keep Strength Morphin. He's going to stay alive. Now he's going to stun Resolution. She's going to take some creep damage. Now the Roche goes down. It is picked up on the way of the Skywrath Mage. So that is a pretty interesting pickup there. I don't know if it was accidental or if it was on purpose, but neither of the cores having much room for it, so I suppose it was probably on purpose. Having Skywrath Mage there alive is helpful. He does have his Force Staff that he's able to use. Mystic Flare is strong. He can stay alive farther in fights and use the damage, and maybe it means if he gets picked off that his damage isn't completely wasted there. He can open the fight with him dying as kind of a tank support where he creates space for the rest of his team to deal a lot of damage. But DK Phobos 2, 4, and 14. As I said, again, I don't think we can overstate the impact that this Morphling has had. Usually when you run a Wisp combo, you want to get some things that can, hold an enemy in place for a good amount of time, and then you can allow you to relocate in and get the gank really underway, like the Batrider, the Axe. Well, the Batrider and the Axe were both banned, so they're like, well, we'll just try out this Morphling here, and it's working out fantastically for him. He's now looking like he's on his way to an AC. He's got a Mjolnir, which allows him to help push up creep waves really well and just kind of deal some AoE damage in the fights. We're looking to get these racks here. The egg comes out and the Luna ult goes down. Skywrath Mage falls, but he does have the Aegis. A lot of damage is being dealt from the Death Ward. This could be really bad for Illidan, but he is Shadow Dance. The Mystic Flare goes down and now brings down the Queen of Pain. Yule's up on the Silent. LSA to follow. And she is going to go down to some right clicks and a few arcane bolts from the Skywrath Mage. So it is a 2-for-1 fight unless Aloha Dance goes down on the backside. He will. That's a triple kill for G. And they're going to clean up another lane of racks here. And that will be the GG called. So Asus pretty much just took control of that game. They kind of caught Empire off guard with their lanes. They weren't really ready for it. They got the really aggressive lane. They got the 4 kills off super early, and even though they gave up a few kills off the back end, it was just kind of like Morphlings dying and things like that. It ends up being a 44-24 kill score here. Slark with a 766 GPM. He had his Midas, he had his big items, 21 and 4. Slark was godlike almost the entire time. And there was just nothing Empire could really do to catch up there. So that was game 1 in Asus and Empire in the ESL 1 qualifier. I will not be casting game 2, but if you can look at, I have all kinds of other videos on my YouTube channel. Follow me at Trenchcasts on Twitter, and look for more. Subscribe and put some likes or maybe some comments. If you thought I did a good job, tell me that. If you thought I was absolute dog shit, I'd like to know that as well. Constructive feedback is always appreciated. Thank you very much, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and you have a fantastic day. This is Trenchcast signing off.